We're the Woodman family. I'm Heather, this is
Harry
and
Ruth.
Scott's videoing. We're not perfect, clearly. We're just a young Christian family who live simply. We work for the environment, caring for it where we can in our home environment. We try and look after the earth. One thing that's really important to us is growing our own food and then taking it into the kitchen where we turn it into everyday meals. What we're wanting to do today is to share with you some of the things that we do, some of the things we grow, some of the things we recycle, and we hope that a little bit of what we do might be useful to you. Thanks. The thing we like to do is come and feed the chooks and collect eggs. Let's go, Harry. Come on in, throw them some fresh greens. That's the boy. How many eggs, Dom?
7.
7 eggs. Well, I'll hold the container out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. Good boy. Okay, no more. When we've got our fresh eggs, we like to go and get some chives and parsley so we can make it into a frittata.
Thank you, Chuggies.
Thank you, Jooks.
And also, after being in the chook pen, we wipe our shoes.
Okay, we need to get some lettuce.
Okay.
Are you going to pick some lettuce?
Oh. Why does it do that?
Okay. Now you need to water the seedlings you're growing.
Any water in there?
Go and fill it up from over there.
Are we right now?
You need to, Harry, you can water. You can both water your seedlings. So here you've got some silver beet, some carrot, some spinach, and a few different flowers, some pansies and some poppies.
Pansies, dianthus, and poppies.
And these are all seedlings that you've done with your grandparents.
Oh. Careful.
Oh.
Oh, don't get me wet.
Good job. Okay.
And now, a bit more lettuce. Hose, Mum. Look how big that egg is! Can. Some of these chooks don't like it. Yummy. Another just a big one.
That's another big one. All right, you got 2 more eggs to crack.
I want to see if he's a double yolk.
Oh, I don't know if there's any double yolkers today. These look a bit too small.
This one might be a...
Yeah, that's me.
Where's the lettuce?
Oh, it's in the fridge. You keep
Do we
chopping.
need to do lettuce?
That shell was a bit strange. All right, there you go. There's the last one.
But look at the egg. That looks weird. The egg.
No, that's normal.
We put more eggs than we usually do.
Not about the same. Good job. Great.
No double
Fantastic.
yolkers.
No double
And then
yolkers.
I'm going to wipe my hands.
All right, and then could you please start whisking? You do your whisk job, and I'll check in with Ruth. How are you going? That looks really nicely cut. Now we need to add yours, Ruth, to Harry's eggs.
It's a swell.
All right, Harry, would you please take your eggs over to Ruth, and we're going to put that all in hers, all in yours.
And then I can keep mixing.
Yep.
She might have built a mess on the top. So I put this in here.
Yes, you know what to do. Pop that all in there.
Can I put some in the cheese?
Yeah, put it all in. Yeah, sometimes I scatter the cheese in there, but it's all the same.
Maybe I'll get this. Get that.
All right. Now we need. You're going to have a whisk now, Ruth, yourself.
With?
Yeah. There.
Oh, Ruth, I stand on the stool.
Well, you can stand on it next to her. You're already on it.
Mom, I need it now. I'm going to.
Here's the other stool.
That's Ruth's stool.
Okay, we'll swap over. I didn't think it really mattered whose stool was whose
I
today.
don't need a stool even, but I was just. Oh, yum! Cheese.
That looks great, kids. Now we're going to pour it into the dish with our roast pumpkin.
I'll do half, then you do that.
Yep, that's fair. Half and half. Give it all a shake around.
Yeah.
Cover everything.
You need to cover all the potatoes.
Pumpkin.
However.
That's great. Going in the oven as is.
It's all eggy.
Alright, we're going to plant some garlic. We're planting 2 different varieties of garlic, a big variety and a smaller variety. So we're going to plant them about 20 centimetres apart, and we're going to plant them about 7 or 8 centimetres deep. So we're going to push them down with the pointy end upwards down into the soil. We're going to have 3 rows of 6 garlic in each row. So Ruth, you can start planting that row.
So, is this the pointy end bit?
Yeah, Harry, you can plant that row. Just follow the first row that I've done.
Do you have to see under?
No, they're going to be deep.
So I
You might dig it down a bit more.
so like that?
Yeah.
Oh, and that one. Oh, come on, this doesn't squish.
Push it right down. These will take about 6 months before they're ready.
Yeah, cut it. So you cover them with soil on top.
Yeah.
Up the pointy end. Oh yeah, I'm going to play. Where is that one? Yeah. That one needs to be. No. Where did the point? Oh yeah, and up. Did you plant any other ones like that? No. You're just sideways. All right, we're nearly done.
Done. Alright, these garden beds are just recycled materials that we use. You don't need fancy garden beds for your plants. They don't care as long as you've got good soil and water and stuff for them. One of these baths came from our house when we did a renovation. Another one was basically here with the house, so we've repurposed them recently to grow various things in. So you saw us plant the garlic. We've got some cabbages in this front one here with the lawn clippings as mulch. It had carrots in it a couple months ago, and the other one had beans in it, and it's quite handy for your back to have something like this just up off the ground. It's a lot easier to get the weeds out. The next one, or the next two beds, there's an old rainwater tank that we had here that I cut up rather than just sending it to scrap metal at the tip. Thought we could get 10, 15 years maybe out of it as a raised garden bed, and they're really good because they've got a little bit of a protective lip around them for the seedlings from the wind. And this first one has cauliflower in it, and the other one's got potatoes, which we're going to harvest some of those because they're nearly finished. So we can harvest some of them now. I'll just pull some out to see what they're like. These are Sebago potatoes. I've got a fork with me that I should have. So these are a late crop, so probably won't get heaps of them, but
Potato! Oh, that's a giant one.
some of these are a bit affected by the sunlight, but
This is giant.
that's not bad.
Oh, here's some little ones. Little ones.
These make
No more potatoes.
didn't come up as
You'll be
nicely.
having roast potato for tea, kids.
Nope. Oh, there's a baby one. Yeah. Oh. Whoa! Oh, Harry found another one. Here's a giant one.
Really need a fork.
Do you want a glove? Oh, wormy! Worm! Oh, look at these red potatoes.
Oh yes, there's a stray red couple.
Red and white. Yeah. Ooh. There's another potato. This is big. Yeah, but this
A few
one's
worms
bigger.
in here, so it's sort of quite good.
Wow.
So do you kids know what Dad does with some of those really small potatoes?
No.
And we don't cook them?
Replant them.
Yes, good boy, Harry. Dad keeps them aside and he replants them next time he wants a crop of potatoes.
I'm gonna
Very
plant them.
economical. He calls them seed potatoes. They become the seeds for the next crop.
Oh, what are you doing?
What do you got there, love?
I love plants. Yeah. Leaves are going crazy.
That's
Whoa.
good.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
This is one of our fruit trees. We have a number of fruit trees that we get produce off during the year. Some years are better than others. We use a fruit fly net here because fruit fly is a bit of an issue in this area, and also just helps keep other bugs and pests off the environmentally friendly way, so you don't have to bother spraying and spraying and spraying. So that's why we use the net. And you get 5 or 6 years out of your nets or more if you look after them, so they're alright. This is a bit late. This is the last lot of fruit we've got this year. This is a golden delicious apple, and we're going to pick some of these to store in the fridge for a few weeks. And some of the ones that are a bit riper or a bit over mature, we will put into fowler's jars, which will show you some photos of those later on. And the fowler's jars extend your harvest and allow you to basically use the fruit out of season.
That's a big one, Johnny. I'll need a small one. The smallest one. I'll probably use the small one. Oh, they're tiny ones over there. They're tiny ones. I'll need a tiny one. Oh, sorry. There's one over here. I have to put them in because you'll get another one. Bucket's nearly full, Dad.
All the apples are in the middle of the tree.
Oh, this. Ah, bucket's full. Yeah.
This is just a couple of our citrus trees, Valencia orange, lemonade, Washington navel, and a mandarin with a lemonade and a couple of others. These are quite handy because, as you can see, you've got some of last year's crop that you can pick and use now, and you've got this year's crop. So, you know, fruit hang on these a long time compared to the other fruit trees, which makes them quite handy in the garden.
And we've come back inside from those other videos outside, and we've just taken the frittata out of the oven. Homegrown roast pumpkin, some cheese and some freshly picked herbs to go with our lettuce, and we do have a couple of the last of our homegrown tomatoes that we'll add to that for lunch. These are some of the golden delicious apples that were picked earlier. They've been stewed up in a pot on the stove, then they've been put into the glass preserving jars, and then in the fowler's unit for an hour where they've been sealed, and they'll be good to go now. They'll keep, and in the middle of winter on a cold night we'll have some warmed stewed apple for dessert. Another thing we like to grow in the garden is these onions. These are probably an older variety of onion. They're called a tree onion, and this is the bulb part of the onion here. These were from my mother, and before that her father grew them, and possibly a generation before that. The tops here from the onion, when we harvest the onions, we have them in a row, we dig them up, Scott ties them in string and hangs them in the woodshed, and then we just come out and pick the small bulb part to use when we need an onion. These are called the tops, and these are kept, and then in about August, September, Scott will take this part and plant it in the garden, and that then grows into the next clump of bulbs, and the cycle continues.
So one thing we like to do is to sort of reduce our waste, reuse, recycle. One way we find very effective to reduce the waste in our rubbish bin is to utilise the school's soft plastic recycling they have down there in orange lidded bins, and all our clean soft plastics go into a plastic bag of some description and go down there to be recycled into other plastic materials. So that really reduces the amount of rubbish we have in our bin each week.
If you can scrunch it up, then it's soft plastics, and it goes in the bag. Just scrunch it up. Yep, it goes in the bag. Scrunches in the bag. Scrunches goes in the bag. Yeah, scrunches.
Okay, so kids, what happens at your school when the orange lidded soft plastic bin is full?
The
what happens?
council comes and picks it up, and then they take it back and process it and make it into seats. Like we have a seat at school made of all the soft plastic we gave the school in the bins.
It's not a very hard process, it just takes just a little bit of time to do, worthwhile.
The benefits are huge because
Take a look at the lilies and how they grow. They don't work to dress themselves, so why do you worry if God dresses the plants? so beautifully, how much better will He dress you and give you what you need. Luke 12:27-28. How does God dress the flowers? What is your favourite flower colour? What do flowers make you think of? What does this verse tell us about God's card?
Go.
The wind is always there. Sometimes I see it in the clouds. Other times in the leaves and the trees. Sometimes it's soft and gentle, moving through my hair. Other times it's strong and bold as a mighty wave. It reminds me of the Holy Spirit leading and guiding me in God's direction.
Why have we chosen our way of living? Our family believes God is creator of the world and that we are here to care for it. We want future generations to enjoy this earth, and we believe it starts with the simple choices that we make. Choices to cut down packaging, to recycle soft plastic, to repurpose older items, etc. This is also why we try to involve our children in all we do. We want to model to our children care for God's created earth, and that which was handed down to us to preserve is handed down to them to also preserve. The land has been good to us in the things we've yielded from trees and plants, and we want to be good to the environment in return. We certainly feel close to God in the garden. Life is busy, but our garden is a way of slowing down just a little. Amen.